we can go ahead and get started. Let's see. I'm John Lee with St. Louis Real Estate Investors Association. Let's see. Today is Friday, October 29th, 2021. So welcome. And Lloyd, do you have anything you want to say?
This is Lloyd Allender, current president of the St. Louis Real Estate Investors Association. Don't have anything particular. I did want to mention, though, I don't know if you want to talk about our November 16th program. Next time we're back together live and in person. Mm-hmm. John has lined up Linda DeMarler, very knowledgeable tax person, give us some last minute advice on our taxes for 2021, and hopefully give us some insights as some strategies we can use for 2022. Mm-hmm. Anything else you want to say, John? You've known her longer than I just have been recently introduced to her.
Yeah, Linda's she's one of the top actually tax experts in the country. Their firm is huge. They have they service all over the country, all 50 states. And we're lucky enough to have them filling us in. Apparently there's a lot of changes going on and we want to know how that's going to affect us. So Linda will be here. She's a great speaker. She goes all over the country and actually international and speaks on taxes. So she's bring your questions because she loves answering questions. If you want to get a preview of her, you can always check out Clubhouse. It's Real Estate Basics on Saturday morning at 7 o'clock our time, Central Time, with Jennifer Hammond. So if you want to link on that, just send me a notice or a message and I'll go ahead and get you hooked up there. So that's about all I had to say on her. Just make sure what day is it? That's the
16th, November 16th.
There we go.
It's 7 o'clock. She's going to be on from 7 to 8. If you're coming live, our meeting starts at 6:30, and we'll go on till we got the space rented till 9:30. If you want to do networking before, we got a little business to take care of. We're doing our annual election. Since we are a not-for-profit, we have to do a little business ahead of time of our election of officers. We're doing that before 7 o'clock. When she comes on at 7 o'clock, when Zoom meeting starts, then she'll be on for an hour or two with her presentation, taking questions. And like I said, if you come live, then stay over and continue networking on until 9:30. And we'll have a lot more, Jim Choik will have a lot more educational materials. Don't want to leave Jim out here. He's with us there. A lot more educational materials have been donated by some of our older members who are kind of downsizing, getting out of the and less active, and want to move into a retirement home apartment, senior apartment, and don't have room for all their massive library of education materials. The Venverlos, Joanne and Don Venverlo, one of our longtime members, they were big on education, and they spent probably hundreds of thousands of dollars. I know a lot of our members spent tens of thousands. They've spent a lot more than our average member. But anyway, they've donated all their entire library of education materials to our organization. And a lot of them we're making available for free. A lot of them we just put nominal prices just so somebody doesn't come in and hoard them all. Yeah, very, very nominal. I don't know, Jim, you want to say?
We got some good deals, and I don't think there's anything over $20-$30. Is there? Yeah.
No, I think $20 is the highest price I put on anything, and that's for a set of CDs that had like 68 CDs in a whole set of. It was like a week's worth of seminar on CD.
Yeah. So most of the stuff's $5 or $10 or free.
Most of it's $5 and $10, very nominal. So just bring. Jim will ask you to bring cash, so he doesn't have to make a lot of change. So if you come live, some great educational materials will be available.
And we have new stuff each meeting because we have so much that we can't do it all at once.
Yeah, we couldn't pick them all. We had 2 carloads. Dan Heyman, our vice president, went out. I wasn't available the first day. They wanted to unload some stuff. He went out and loaded up his car and took it back home and sorted through it all. And they called me back a week later and said, "Okay, we got the rest of it ready to go." I said, "Oh my gosh!" And so I went out to their house and took a second carload, loaded up the back of my car so we have boxes full of materials. And he said, "We're going to be going into next year, but before we get it all out to present. So
yeah, so new stuff each meeting. So just,
keep coming back. If you've been to previous meetings and bought some materials, come on back. We're going to have some new stuff out at our November meeting, and then we'll be going in. We don't meet in December, but we'll get new materials to bring in probably in January and February also. So looking forward to spreading that great information out to people in our organization.
Bring cash, bring small bills.
Bring cash and small bills. Yeah, like I said, it's nothing small. We have one table, it's all free. So a lot of great books that Larry Dees had a great library too. He donated our past presidents. He donated last year to me. He was cleaning out, and he pushed over several boxes of his stuff off to me. So I've been bringing those in too. So a lot of great education materials, and a lot of it may be old, but there's not much has changed as let me say, just add a couple. If they got examples that say $10,000, just add another zero to it, make it, it'll be $100,000 in the deal. So it's all relative, all great strategies and great business plans to follow. If you want to look for a business plan to follow in your real estate investment.
There's books on notes, there's books on wholesaling, there's books on fix and flip, there's books on landlording. I mean, there's just everything.
And the Venverlos were big into money lending, and so they have a lot of. If you're thinking about getting into the finance end of things, because Joanne had a great lending business going on, what you call it, Lexus Funding LLC, I think was the name of her company. She was a big lender. She actually won awards from some small business group in St. Louis here that for her lending practices that helped out a lot of small businesses here in St. Louis. So a lot of great educational materials. So getting that out of the way, announcements for we've got meetings coming up. Anybody got anything for us today? This is supposedly our haves and wants, general networking too. But if you got any haves and wants, you got any thing you want to offer, either some property or some services do you want to offer to investors, this is a good time to bring it up. We got a lot of investors here probably looking for properties. If you got something to sell, or if you're looking for something in particular or a reference for a contractor, you're trying to do a project about one of your properties and you're looking for some skilled labor, maybe we'll have somebody that's had a good experience with a contractor can pass along their contacts. Other than that, we can just kick it off to any general networking.
Hey, Lloyd, I had a question about a door replacement. I was thinking about getting one of my, it's a side door, changing it from a door that has windows in it to like a security door. If anyone has had luck finding, or actually I was really looking to price it out to understand about how much that would cost.
Okay. Door replacement. Okay, so it'd be an outside door, a side door, you said?
Yeah, it's a side door.
Exterior door, steel insulated.
Correct.
Okay. Last ones I have purchased, I purchased at Lowe's, but and I've had my own carpenter install. I haven't found. Well, I did try Lowe's installations on a patio door here recently, and they did a good job, but the final bill came out a lot more than what they quoted as their standard installation, and I don't think my installation was anything out of the ordinary, but it ended up being about double. The installation cost ended up being almost double what they quote as their standard installation cost. They threw in all kinds of extra material and things. I didn't go back and dispute it or anything, but I don't know that I'm going to be using them again. I'll just call my, I've got a carpenter, if I can get on his waiting list, if it's not too urgent. Oh, Menards has a big selection too of exterior doors. I have purchased some exterior doors from Menards in the past. And like I said, and then at the time I had a good carpenter that very, very reasonable, but he's since retired. And my current guy is young and healthy, and he's got a big waiting list.
Yeah, I received one quote from a person who said about $300 to replace it, and that's not including the material. That was just the labor. So, I mean, I'm working to get more quotes. Just curious if anyone on the line has had has an estimate.
No, $300 does not sound unreasonable for an installation. Anybody else got a quote? Had an experience with a reasonable exterior door installation? I'm assuming it's probably a 36-inch exterior door. You can buy those for less than $300. So, you know, total cost I would think would be under $600 for a fairly standard.
Yeah, that's what I'm estimating at this point. Just curious if the $300 of labor was in the ballpark. So,
yeah, I would think it's in the ballpark. And anybody else had any other experience recently? Okay, yeah, and you know, unless you got a big rehab you're doing, and they could just, you know, do it as part of a whole package. But, you know, if you're going to get somebody out to do it, you know, they got to make it worth their while to, you know, travel and pack up their tools and travel out there and even pick up the door if you don't have the door ready delivered to the site. I mean, that's what the Lowe's delivery, they include picking it up at the store and bringing it to the site and doing the whole installation, except for touching up paint. I had a Stu Gallerod. In fact, he didn't do that great a job of caulking it even. I had to do some extra caulking after he left, and after that, his caulking dried and shrunk up a little bit and left a few gaps. I had to do some more caulking, and then I painted some extra trim around the edge where it had been scraped up a little bit. But no, I'd say it sounds like reasonable. Nobody else has any comment on that. So, anybody else got anything? I see. Usually you have some wholesalers. I see we got Sandra Holtmeyer on this morning. Now she does some wholesaling. You got anything you got under contract right now, Sandra? Maybe she's just listening in, or.
No, sorry, I was muted. I was trying to get it unmuted.
No, that's okay. I know it takes me a while to find the unmute button sometimes. Go ahead.
Hi, everybody. I have one coming up on Colfax Avenue over by Normandy Golf Course. It is, I have it under contract. I'll assign the contract, but the family's still getting stuff out of it. So it won't be available to view until early mid-November, but it really does not need much work, mainly flooring and, you know, probably a few little handyman things. You know, it was lived in, but not beat up or doesn't need total renovation. It's a 2-1, good rental area. So I emailed that out. If you didn't get that email a few days ago, you guys are welcome to send me your email. I'll get you on my buyers list. But that's all I have right now. Thank you.
And you said it's in the Normandy area?
Yes. Okay. It's in this great little pocket. It's like really nestled in next to Normandy Golf Course and a couple of the cemeteries over there. I mean, just like lots of green space. And it's like this neighborhood is this little gem in there. Really nice, cute brick houses. I had never been in there, but it's really nice. It's not, you know, I wouldn't say it's a, you know, like a war zone or anywhere like that. Not at all.
Yeah, I would say, I know we got Bobby Stalwart. One of our members is Bob buys in that area. In fact, he was on, that's been a few weeks ago now. Said he was looking for something in the Normandy area. So I don't know sure if he's not on your list, maybe I'll send him your contact information.
You want to put your contact info on there, Sandra? Put it in the chat there.
I'm working off my phone. Let me chat. Do that.
Yeah, that'd be real helpful. Thank you.
Sure.
Okay. Yeah, and James Zing wants to be added to your list.
Okay. I'll put mine in there.
Yeah, in fact, I think I passed your information along to somebody I talked to at our last meeting. They were asking about wholesalers. They were looking for some newbies looking for their first property and said, "Oh, first you need to get on some wholesalers list." Yeah. And I gave them your contact information. So
yeah, they just go quick. I had a couple more last week that go within 2-3 hours. Like it's amazing. So.
Yeah, I know. I've hesitated on a few, missed out on some, and I'm not on just like yours, but I know in some other wholesalers.
Yeah, it can be hard for everybody. I mean, even
the day after. Yeah, the only one.
You get a lot of good offers. It's like wow. So, yeah.
Been a couple of years since I did add one. I was looking for a particular property in an area, and somebody sent me one, and I was working on my computer when he sent it out, and I immediately called him and set up an appointment for that afternoon. And by evening, we had it under contract. So
yeah, that's good.
Yeah, let him go.
If you can't,
go ahead.
Yeah, sorry. If you can't get to a property right away, at least call the wholesaler or the agent and say, "I am coming, and here's what time. Can you hold off until then?" Because it's just a fast moving freight train when these come along. So at least me personally, if I know somebody else is seriously looking at it, wanting to see it, I'll hold off, but if I feel everybody's kind of been in for the day, then I may make a decision. So that's just a tip to make sure you don't miss out on stuff.
Yeah, that's something good advice to get. If you see something that's in your area and you want to take a look at it, let them know as soon as possible. And
Laura Jimerson put in there about pinning window reference here. That's a great idea. I've used pinning window many times for rental properties and also for our condo we're at now. And I just talked to him the other day about new windows that were on the place we're building. But the material, the doors and the windows are like everywhere right now. They don't have a big surplus like they normally do. Normally they would have a bunch of them in their warehouse, but they don't right now. If you can find the door, they could probably do it fairly quickly. But if you have to order it, I don't know what doors are, but I know the windows and then the double doors, they're taking like 12 to 14 to 16 weeks. And that's what they're estimating. So I would definitely call them though. They're one of the best ones. They did some custom work on some 2 families like that I had that were built, I don't know, in 1910 and stuff that had curved windows and a bunch of stuff that nobody else could do easily and quickly. So you may check with them. Thank you, Laura, for bringing that up.
Yeah. I've heard good things about pinning window. I also have used budget window. And I'm not sure if they do doors. I've only called them about windows, and they've done a couple of houses with windows for me, and they were reasonable, very reasonable too. I know they do a lot of work for a lot of the other rehabbers. So they got to be pretty competitive to operate in that market. So they did a good job on my rental. I had one that faced south. The front of the house faced south, and just got beat up by the sun. And all windows on the other side of the house were fine, but those builder quality windows, the vinyl just didn't hold up. The frames were cracking and seals were broken. And so I had all it's been it's probably been 3 years ago now. I had all the windows on the front of one of my rentals, and it really spruced it up too. Yeah, but only windows.
Yeah, we use painted windows, and took like 3 months to get the windows in. So it does take some time. Yes.
Oh. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah.
But
especially if you got new windows, if they got they're custom made to your sizes for replacement windows. That's what they usually do. They just measure them and they make them to your size. They don't keep an inventory. So yeah, if the factory gets backed up, yeah, you got to get in line with everybody else.
So, sorry if the background is kind of noisy. We are on the road. Does anyone ever have anything in the Maryland Heights area to sell or rent anything like Maryland Heights or Freeport? Looking to buy something there. So if anyone has something, let me know.
Okay, you're looking to buy a single family house in the Maryland Heights?
Yes, single family, yes.
Okay, yeah, that's a good area. If anybody's got anything in that area, I know our Vice President, Dan Heyman, sold one of his rental houses in Creve Coeur, I believe it was, earlier in the year. The market was so hot there that he just couldn't resist the temptation to sell one of his rentals. Yeah, he was getting worth so much. The value had increased so much since he had bought it. He finally cashed in. But yeah, so it's been a hot.
So yeah, if you ever see or hear anything, just let me know.
Okay. You want to put your information or contact information in the chat too, Ann? That's Ann.
Sure. Yeah. Okay. Mm-hmm. We're on the road, Lord. We're in the RV, so it's kind of noisy.
Oh, in the RV. Okay.
Yeah.
You're in your RV today. Man, I wish I was in my RV today. I keep saying, wife and I've been talking about taking a fall trip out and see some colors. And man, our schedule between taking care of our grandson and our son just bought his first house, and now he's getting ready to move. And our schedule is just crazy. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get out there before Thanksgiving.
Sounds like a good time to leave town, Lloyd.
Yeah, it does. I'm not going to be around for the movie day.
Right.
That would be a good excuse. He hasn't nailed down a moving day yet. They just closed on Monday. So when he nails down on a moving day, I'll say, okay, I'll tell my wife, we're going to pack up and we're going to be gone that week. So we're unavailable to save our backs. Now he's going to have to hire some movers this time. My helping friends and family with moving days are over. Okay, let's see. We still got something else in the chat. Let's see, from Bristol. She's new at our meeting. She's a wholesaler in the Jefferson County, St. Louis area, building her buyer's list. Okay. Anyone that wants to be on her, get on her buyer's list. And her email is brislash@yahoo.com. And you can text her on her cell, 636-215-5447. It's Bristol. Okay, in fact, I might write you down. I told that, like I said, there's a new investor that I talked with at our last meeting, in-person meeting, and I sent along contact information for the wholesalers that who I'm on their list. I will send her your information, Bristol.
Hey, Lloyd, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Go ahead.
Okay, thank you. Sorry, I was trying to unmute. I apologize. I try to keep it my video off and muted most of the time because my kids can be loud around here. I know one of the downsides of having Zoom meetings from home, but I just wanted to jump in and actually, say hi to everybody. And I wish we were meeting in person. Do you guys ever have in-person meetings right now, or just Zoom?
Yes, we meet in person on the third Tuesday of every month except December. So we're going to have our last meeting for the year on November the 16th. We were just talking about it earlier on the call here. November 16th, we meet at the if you've been on our website, stlreia.com, you find, I don't think it's up there yet. I know, so John gave me the information about our program. We're going to have a CPA on. And yeah, we do a lot of networking. We got a lot of, I was very pleasantly surprised that we had our first 2 meetings. We just started meeting up again since the pandemic in September. So September, October, we had a good amount of new folks that came and at both of those September and October meetings. So a lot of interest that have been building up during the pandemic of people getting into real estate investing, and that's a good way to do it is in-person networking. So yeah, if you can make it to one of our,
I definitely look
meetings,
forward to that. Thank you for resharing that information. I might have missed it in the beginning. I was trying to figure out how to get into the Zoom.
Okay.
So I was a few minutes tardy, so I apologize.
Yeah, I see that a lot of folks have come in since we started up here. So yeah, the same for anybody else that's maybe new and not familiar with our program. We meet in person. We're the only non-for-profit real estate investor group in the St. Louis area. We've been around since 1977. I haven't been quite that long. I joined in the early 80s. Let's put it that way. I won't say how long, but I've been investing in property since I was since I was younger than my son. So he's in his 30s. But yeah, it's been a good source of extra income on the side, and it allowed me for my wife to quit her job when we started our family. So it's been a good supplement to our income. I've never been at full time, except for now when I retired 10 years ago, and I guess that by definition makes me a full time investor now, because that's all my only, other than my pensions and from my job at the Boeing company, but it does support me pretty well. So
excellent.
Anyway, okay, there I see Ann left her contact information there too. So anybody else has anything?
I got a quick question.
Sure, go ahead.
Yeah, hope everyone's doing well. I just wanted to see, has anybody here maybe dealt with floodplain properties or anything? I got a property I'm working on right now, and it's over in like Ellendale, Shrewsbury area. And it's like the flood line's touching the mailbox or whatever, but I'm not sure, how big of a risk that would be to take on and see, if it's worth fixing and flipping or trying to wholesale to somebody.
Okay, so you've looked at the floodplain map, and is it how much is all of the lot in the floodplain, or is just a portion of it?
It's just like a very small slit. It's kind of like just touching the mailbox area. That's
just touching, and it's not around the house. Okay, I have had experience with that. I unknowingly bought, this has been years ago, before realtors got real picky about, because I bought it off it was on the MLS, that I found out after I had closed on it that it was in a floodplain, because my insurance company informed me of it. But it was only on one corner of the lot. And so initially I went ahead and paid the flood insurance, but over the years that I kept it, I had that property over 25 years. And when the flood insurance started rising, that it was more than my regular rental policy, I started looking at it and saying, what the heck? And I looked at the map, and it was only on one back corner, because it backed up to a catch basin for nearby the subdivision that it backed up to. And in the entire time that I had it, there had been water in the catch basin, so it had been a number of years. And so I wonder if that's really a risk. And so I went ahead and there were like discrepancies of different flood maps. One of them had it coming right down the center, and another one just had it touching the corner. And when I looked at, I think the one that where it just touched the corner was more reasonable. I called a survey company, and the one is one that does a lot of work. It was in St. Charles County, and a company that does a lot of surveys for In fact, they had surveyed that particular subdivision in the back. They did the survey work for it. So I knew they were familiar. They had access to all the maps and were very familiar with the area. And what they did was they came out, did a survey, verified the elevations of all, and verified it. Yes, it was just that one corner. The house itself was not in the floodplain area. And they filed a letter of amendment, map amendment, I think it was called. I forget what the exact name of it is. If you called a survey company, and they filed that with, I forget what the entity is that takes care of the floodplain maps, and that got that particular house taken out of the floodplain, and dropped the requirement for me to have flood insurance for my mortgage. So that's how I handle it. If it was not, and the whole process, yeah, it cost maybe $900, but at the time I was starting to pay. It didn't bother me too much when it was like $100 a month or a year for flood insurance. But when the cost got up to $700 or $800 a year, I said, okay, I'm going to risk that spending that extra $900, and it was worth it. I should have done it earlier, as it turned out, because it wasn't in the floodplain. The property itself, the house itself, was not in the floodplain. And I had to give them some information. And if you call the surveyor, they'll tell you what information. I had to go in the basement and measure the distance between the basement floor and the bottom of the floor joist, and the basement floor and the bottom of the windows that were in there. And there were several other measurements. But if you call a surveyor, they'll ask you for some information, and you can go out and take those measurements and give it to them, and then they'll come out. They'll put you on a schedule to come out with their survey team to actually come out and do an elevation of the actual lot in the building itself, and that would eliminate you, and it'd be easier to sell too if you got something that you're considering buying, or you already bought and you're thinking about selling it, or thinking about investing some more money in it. Before you do invest a lot more money in it, go ahead and have a survey, and that makes it real easy for the buyer. Your buyer doesn't have to have any flood insurance. In fact, I recommended that to one of our other members. It's been a long time. Everyone knows Dave Randolph had a property in the same. You know, Dave. He had a property in the same area, and he had the same situation. I told him what I did. He went through the same process and got his property taken out because it backed up to it was in the same neighborhood, but it backed up to a creek that was the tributary, the same creek system that mine was. So he did that and got his property taken out of there too.
I've got one I've had for many years in Ferguson area. It's in a 500-year floodplain. And when I first bought it in the early 2000s, I didn't know it till after I bought it, same as you, Lloyd, but what they did is they required me, the insurance company found out about it. And then what they did, and I'd recommend, just like you said, check with the insurance company, whoever your broker is, give them the address, do that before you do anything else. Because what happened to me is the first year, it was about $280 in addition to the regular homeowner's insurance. Not a big deal. It went up a little bit every year. The last year, about 4 years ago, it was over $3,000. I think it was about $3,800. They kept raising it, even though it's never flooded, probably never will. If this neighborhood floods, I think the arch is underwater. I mean, that's really, this 500-year floodplain makes no sense. But what I did is I ended up letting it go. And the forced insurance that the mortgage company gave me is only like $28 a month. So I let them tack it on, and they renew that every year almost at the same amount. So check with your insurance. I check with your insurance broker. They send out a special map that's done by the Geological Survey, and you can probably get a hold of that. Back in the day, it was harder to get a hold of. Nowadays, everybody has it. You can probably find it online, but you can see. And for some reason, they have the 100-year and then the 500-year. And the 500-year, if this, like I said, if this place floods, we're in trouble anyway. All of St. Louis is in trouble. It's not going to flood, but they're not going to change the survey lines, according to what the map is, according to my broker. So I would definitely check into that before you got too deep into it and waste a lot of your time. Because if I had it to do again, I would not have bought that house. That's just where I'm at.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, no, I'm actually working directly with the seller. We're just trying to figure out how we can help him out. But the only thing is we've had a hard time is understanding how the floodplain and all of that works, and if there's particular buyers for it as well that buy in the floodplain area. I would talk to a flood insurance company too, or just an insurance company, and they gave me a flood quote, and I think it was like $738 a year or something like that. So I might look into, you know, how Lloyd here was talking about getting a surveyor out there and possibly seeing if they might, you know, switch that around or do that amendment. But yeah, so I appreciate that. Thank you guys so much.
Yep, insurance is key.
Yeah. If you're in a floodplain, I always check for that. Make sure that I check myself. Now after that incident, you know, I probably now doing what I went through. Yeah, I would have probably bought the property anyway once I saw the map that was just in one corner. And then
how much does it affect the value of the property? One would say, like, if it was considered.
Well, in fact, I used it when it was still before I had that letter of map amendment done. I used it to get the value of the property reduced. I get my property taxes reduced. But basically, you look at if you have to add $500 a month. Or that's what mine was getting up to $500 to $700. I forget what it was a month to it. That's $500 to $700 less in a mortgage that a buyer can afford. And so just plug that into what the payments for reduction in payment that a potential buyer would have to pay. And you know, you look at your comps and what they're worth that aren't in the floodplain. And that's what I did. I went down and I got my property taxes reduced significantly because I took a similar house just a couple blocks away that was not in the floodplain, and I said, okay, it's there, and okay, and if I for a 30-year mortgage on that house at that value, the mortgage payment would be $800, and they'd have to pay another $300 for flood insurance. And that would mean they could only pay $500 for mortgage on mine, and so that would reduce a significant reduction, and then just work backwards to your what the sale price would be for that, and that's what the property value would be reduced by. That's basically what you have to do, because you're going to have people that are looking at their monthly payment. That's what buyers are going to look at. They're looking at their monthly payment, and that's all it counts. If they have to pay an extra, $300 for flood insurance, that's $300 less in value that they can spend on the mortgage.
Okay, I got you. Yeah, that's the only kind of thing I was worried about was, purchasing this property, and then it's a very minor rehab. It's almost like in, perfect condition, but the seller's just trying to get out of it because he inherited the property. But I was trying to possibly look into wholesaling as well, but I'm not sure if I'm connected with as many buyers that possibly buy in those floodplain areas or whatnot. So yeah, I try to figure it out now.
Yeah, like John said, if you can contact your insurance company and they've got ready access to the maps, and they could tell you that. And then if you wanted to pass along to a wholesaler, yeah, I'm sure that some of the wholesalers that have been experienced might haven't had an experience like that knows that it's just a process of getting it a survey done and getting a letter of map amendment. And in the interest, if somebody in the past might have done that, it would have to be one of the previous owners. But there.
Yeah, no, it's the owner that's lived there for now. He's like, that lives there now. He's like, it never even it's never flooded, or even when there was those bad floods, apparently 1993, the water didn't even come close or something like that. So I think I might look into that, the insurance and then the survey as well to see if we can get that. Figured out.
That's a good. Yeah, that's good, especially if you had somebody that's been in there for years and then know it hasn't flooded. That's a good indication.
Lloyd,
Hey, hello.
I have heard somebody filled it up and brought the property above the grade. In the past, I heard somebody, there was a small area, fill it up, everything.
Oh, Phil, put in fill on
out of the flood zone.
Well, yeah, that is a possibility too. Yeah, if there's a low area in the lot, you could put some fill in it to get the elevation a little higher. Depends on how big an area it is, though. Or if he said it's in the, but if it's in the mailbox, it means it's in front of the house. It might look kind of funky to put a. It may not be appropriate to put that if it's next to the driveway or something.
I heard this guy bought real. That was a lot. He bought real cheap and fill about 2 foot all over.
Mm-hmm. It was just a lot, though. Okay.
Yeah, it was lot. Yeah.
Yeah, it was just a lot. Okay, this sounds like it's a house, a lot with a house on it.
Right. And if this is the corner, he can fill the corner. That's not house, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a possibility.
Right. Yeah.
But if it's just a corner, and then even though you do that, the map would still show that it was on the floodplain. So you'd have to still get a survey made to show that, okay, it's not. And so, and if the survey shows that it's only a portion of it, it's not the house, and it won't affect the flood insurance for the property. So for the house itself, it won't be required if it's not on the portion of the lot that the structure sits.
Right.
It's not in the floodplain. It's not an issue. Yeah. And I did go back while I still own that house. We had 5 inches of rain in 5 hours over one night. And I went by the house the next day and I saw they had flooded this nearby street, and the 2 houses next to it had water in their basements. I talked to my tenant. There was times, hey, how high did it get? Well, it only touched back in that little back corner of the lot. I said, yes, that was the part of that survey was right. It was just that small corner of the lot that they had. And part of the reason for that flood was the city of St. Charles had not been cleaning out the culverts that were downstream, and they gotten blocked up with debris. But that was the low area on the lot, was back in that one corner. And our basement stayed dry in our property. So.
Sweet. I appreciate all that information,
Okay. Hope that helps you out. Hope you can move forward on it.
Yeah, for sure. Trying to figure it out. I also do like a few wholesales a month, and I just pick up fix and flips here. So that was something I was looking into. But if there's any like cash buyers, any other investors here that are looking for properties, I can always reach out. So I can leave my phone number or email address here.
Yeah, sure. We'll put your contact information there. Yeah.
Yeah.
You were looking in St. Charles County?
Yeah. So I'm right now over in St. Charles County, like Florissant area, Creve Coeur, Baldwin, South County area around like Afton, Melville, stuff like that. I do have a property coming up in Afton here soon. So I'm not sure if anybody here is interested in that, but
darn. My son just bought a house in Afton.
No, really?
Yeah, I was trying to find some wholesalers that had something, but never really came up with anything, and he was getting too anxious to wait. So.
Yeah, I mean, if you're still looking, I can send you some more information on the one I got going on. So you never know.
Okay. Yeah. I'll send out, because I'm always looking for interest in something in St. Charles. In fact, I'll throw out my normal pitch here. Some of your regulars are tired of hearing me about my RV lot. If I'm looking for a lot, I'm currently paying $450. I almost hate to admit it, to rent a spot to park my motorhome. There are not very few places that have indoor storage for RVs. It's got a 12-foot wide door, 14-foot high, and it's 40-foot deep. So, and I don't need all that space, but what I like to do is I like to find a small lot, or maybe a house, or a small house on a large lot that I could build an RV garage on. And I'd like to be in St. Charles County or somewhere nearby in St. Louis County, maybe Bridgeton or Maryland Heights, possibly. I might go across the river. I'm pretty close to not that far deep into St. Charles County. Wouldn't mind going across there, but preferably in St. Charles County. But I'm always looking for something like that.
But no, Lord, I'm not tired of hearing it.
You're not here, yeah, because Nan, she's on RVing right now. I got her on my list. If I find a plot that I can build a 5 or 6 slot or RV garage, Ann's going to be my first tenant. She's going to be my first rental unit.
Right? Yeah.
So I'm looking looking for somebody to help fill that up. If I can find a lot big enough to build 5 or 6 units, I don't want to have one of these huge self-storage units where you have to have a power gate and all that stuff for people to get in and out. I'm trying to keep it small scale. Have a few friends and family to store in their boats. Jim, you still got your boat? Yeah, I talked with you a while back. Well, no, darn it.
No, I sold my boat.
You sold your boat. I was hoping to get Jim as a client, but I didn't get it built fast enough, and he sold his boat.
Sold my boat. Yep.
So,
Hey, Lloyd, have you considered buying something in St. Louis City? There's plenty of vacant lots there that would, I'm sure you could, if you're looking to build, you could purchase there.
Yeah, I've looked. I look occasionally in St. Louis, especially when wholesalers send me something. I'm like, hey, wow, it's got really lot down. Where is it? Yeah. I haven't found any in the areas. The city would be too far. I don't want to go that far right now. Right now, I'm driving across St. Charles, the other end of St. Charles City, and it takes me 15 minutes to get there, and I don't want to be any further away than that. Because I'm also using it as a storage unit too, because I put all the extra building supplies and stuff over there to keep my garage neat, so I can still get 2 cars in my garage at home. So yeah, I'd like to have a little closer than St. Louis City. Okay. Okay. I'm gonna get your, how do you say your name? Semso?
Yeah, my name is Shamso.
Shamso, okay. Shamso, okay. I'm gonna get down your contact here. I'll send you a text with my information. And
sure.
Yeah, if you run across anything in St. Charles County, I'd be willing to look at it. A lot, or like I said, a house is a potential rental house on a larger lot that I can have build a smaller garage.
Mm-hmm. I'll keep an eye out. I'll do some. I'll try to do some marketing out that way too for particular properties. So just let me know what you're looking for.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure. And anyone else here too, and if people are interested in floodplain properties too, I'd be willing to connect on that too.
Okay.
Yeah. Thanks, guys.
Okay. Thank you. Yeah, and I'm going to read off your phone number here because we do record these, and for people that are listening, the chat is not available. Shamso's number is 314-828-0007. So for his contact.
Yeah.
Contact information.
And you can text me whenever. If I don't pick up the phone call, feel free to leave a voicemail. So either or.
Okay. Yeah, I'm going to shoot you a text with all your information, what I'm looking for.
Cool. Thank you.
Okay. Okay. Okay, yeah, Bruce is making a comment here about the insurance. So insurance companies and real estate tax departments are making more money than they should for non-house encroachments and floodplains. Well, it's up to us to, it's just, they have their rules. If any portion of a lot is in the floodplain, yeah, you're required to get insurance on it. It just helps out the people that are, we keep getting more weather-related incidents like that, more damage. So that's why they have to keep raising the rate on everybody. So the people that do get flooded, where the people that don't get flooded pay for it. That's what insurance is about, sharing the burden. So, spreading the burden out amongst multiple folks, so not every one person has to bear the whole burden. Okay, we'll also look back here in the chat. We had something here else I missed at Victoria Wynn with Win-Win Home Solutions. She has an assignable contract available on 8131 Nola Avenue, 63114. It's a 3-1 all brick with a garage basement. Okay, needs paint and minor repairs. Her email is info@win-win Win Home Solutions. That's WYNNHOMESOUTIONS.com, winhomesolutions.com. info@winhomesolutions.com. Go to contact her about that. Okay. Anybody else got anything? Hope we solved a few, passed on some good information on floodplains and door installations here today. Anybody else looking for anything else? If not, I'm going to take the opportunity to start to feed my cold. I'm going to have lunch early. I'm talking earlier. I got getting over a cold from taking care of my grandson with a snotty nose. Now I'm still suffering here, but I'm on the downside though. I'm getting better. So nobody else has anything. I mean, we'll call it here for this week. Now next week we will have Kathy Davis. She's going to be back with us on the first Monday of our the first Friday of every month. And next Friday is the 5th of November. So she's going to give us an update on the court system. If you got some landlords or some tenants, if you're a landlord that's got some tenants that are still struggling from the pandemic, and she's going to give us an update. I think the court systems are starting to get back up to normal. That's why she was with us for every Friday during the pandemic. Most every Friday she was here and give us an updates. Now that she's back in business, they're busy. They're in court every day, and including Fridays. So she's going to try to take one Friday morning at 11 o'clock and be with us, give us an update on how things are coming along, how the backlog is being worked off in St. Louis County, St. Louis City, St. Charles, Jefferson County. And I believe, I think Chris goes out to Lincoln County even some days. So looking forward to hearing how that's going. Fortunately, I've only had one tenant that's mine. He's a little behind right now, but he's making an effort. So as using Kathy's advice, hey, if you got somebody who's working with you, continue to work with them. I waived any late penalties. Just let's get back on schedule, and they're working toward it, getting closer every month. So we'll still continue to work with them. So nobody else has anything else? Look forward to seeing you next Friday. In the meantime, take care. Thanks for coming on.
Thank you,
everybody.
Hey, thanks everybody.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys. Yeah.